Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici. Welcome, my friends. This is Vincenzo from Fountain Pen Therapy. Welcome to my channel. Today I have another beautiful pen for you. It's another primary manipulation. I went on a binge lately. In the last month, I was just fascinated by Mr. Brooks's resin and Mr. Brooks from Carolina Pen Company. It was an effect contributed to this new resin that a lot of companies, including Leonardo, including the pen company that we will be looking at today, have collaborated with Mr. Brooks and have made some very, very beautiful pens. So today we'll be looking at the Nahvalur, or Narwhal as it used to be known. It's a special edition primary manipulation 1 resin pen, and really, really nice. Narwhal's come a long way from its entry-level pens. It's made some beautiful ebonite pens lately, and the Nautilus model, which is this particular model that we will be looking at today, is also a very, very, very special and unique. And without further ado, let's go to my overhead camera and let's see what I've... So we're back, and we're back with the pen. There you have it. Isn't that gorgeous? Very, very nice. The primary manipulation resins are all unique, of course. It all depends on how the swirls get done. I really like mine. There's some other primary manipulation pens that I've ordered recently, and I just didn't work out as nicely as I would have wanted. But I particularly like, let me just remove that. I particularly like the purple section here. It just makes it so unique. Anyway, let's look at this pen. First of all, you can see there's a finial here with a black insert. Not sure if that's metal, aluminum, or resin. We don't have the same at the other end. The other end is just the resin itself. The trimmings, well, there's different types of trimmings are available, and I've chosen this darker one. I think it's really, really nice. The other unique is the unique item is the clip. Very functional. Okay, very functional. The trimming has the name of Nahvalur on it. Yeah, with a nice design, if you will. Okay. It's got, because it is Nautilus model, and it's got this, nautical theme, if you will. The ink windows are in the form of 3 portholes. Isn't that unique? I think it is. It's a piston filler, and the nibs are in-house nibs, so very nice, made by Nahvalur or Narwhal. This particular nib is originally they only went up to broad, but they now have the stub, which is great news for me, being a stub, almost a unique stub purchaser, if you will. That's the way I like my nibs. We'll take a look at that nib. That nib may be one of the negative, if anything about this pen, or at least the particular one I've got, and I'll explain to you why in a second. So there it is. It's the piston filler. I'm not sure why this moves this way. I'm always a little bit weary because I'm afraid that it will spit out the ink. But there's a mechanism here that's just very loose, which I don't particularly appreciate. I got to take a look at that just to make sure that there's nothing wrong that I'm doing. Does it post? No, it doesn't. It's not meant to post. It's an oversized pen, or at least that's the way it's been marketed. I mean, oversize, there's oversize and then there's oversize. I think it's a large pen, but I don't believe it's accurate to say that it's oversize. It's a nice size pen, on the larger side, but it's not an oversized pen, especially when I take a look at my Ranga giant pens. There's just no comparison, okay? We'll be right back. So that's the pen itself on the outside, and on the inside, we'll be right back with a size comparison. We're back for a size comparison, and here it is. Here's the Nautilus. As you can see, it is on the larger side. This is my London Pen Company Primary Manipulation 1. This is my Delta Gallery Blue Moon. This is my Memento Zero Grande Stardust, and you can see it's so the Grande is equivalent. Okay, so it is a larger pen, and this is my Galen Leather Studio Primary Manipulation 4 pen, which is equivalent. It's much larger than my Delta Dune Horizon. It is almost equal to my Opus 88, much bigger than my Kilk Epigram, but this is an oversized pen. So if we're going to talk about an oversized pen, my Ranga Giant Splendor is an oversized pen. It's probably one of the biggest pens in the world. So that's what I consider to be, a real oversized pen. But maybe this is a oversized giant pen as opposed to an oversized. But it is a large pen. There you go. So very, very nice. I like the size. I'm very happy with it. So that's the size comparison. Okay, we're back for the writing sample. First things first, in terms of the ink that we'll be using today, I've inked this pen with Sailor Blue. I just wished I could find this edition of all the inks, and I believe Sailor probably only made blue and blue black, if I'm not mistaken. It's just an exquisite ink, one of my favorite inks. And it seems that these days, every time I'm looking for a blue ink, I just jump to this one, or its sister ink, which is the black blue. In any event, that's the ink we'll be using today. In terms of the journal or the paper on which we'll be doing our writing sample, I've chosen this Tomo River notebook from Seven Seas Crossfield. Very, very nice notebook. It's got a plastic cover. It has a very large, as you can see, a very large grid. So very nice. We'll be inking this baby in just a few seconds. Very nice. I will put where I purchased it. I think you could probably get some on Amazon these days, but I'm not sure. But I may have purchased it at a specialized Japanese paper website that I will leave the description. And I will leave the details in my description as usual. Okay, so let's get to the writing sample, if you will. Okay. So this is the Nahvalur or Narwhal, and now I forget how Narwhal is spelled, and I'm not sure I spelled Narvul right. I apologize if I got that wrong. And it's a special edition Nautilus. The stub, so that's the pen. The nib is a Hinhouse 1.1 stub, and it's a steel nib. Now, I did mention that maybe one of the negatives of this pen is the stub, and just when you want to demonstrate that there's some negative points to point out, so far I've got to tell you it's surprising me. Maybe it's the ink when I used it this week, but I don't think it's the ink. It's just maybe it dried up on me, or it has a tendency to dry up quickly. I just found that, well, you see, there's that false start here. It lacks consistency. It's very smooth, almost no feedback whatsoever. So it's not in the smoothness. It's just that when I try to get some lines in there, unless I press properly, it'll skip on me. So it lacks consistency. But I think I'm being very picky, because so far live here it's performed exceptionally well. So it may have been the way I used it this week. And sometimes you have a tendency to close it up, put it away, and it kind of dries up on us, especially in some of the inks. And then when we come back to it, it kind of skips on us or false starts, and we kind of blame the nib. And maybe it's not the nib. Maybe it's not the nib. I've got to tell you, so far I'm very, very happy with it. So why don't we look at the rating of this pen? As far as the pen is concerned, let's look at design. It's very unique. I mean, it does have a vintage look, but the roundness of it at the both ends, and its nice size, the trimmings, the porthole, the clip, I think all of it makes it such that it is fairly unique. And I really like the design, and not to mention that the resin just brings out the best in this pen. So I'm going to give it a 9.8. I really like the design of this pen. In terms of build quality, I mean, one of my original narwhal pens, where they, I forget what they called them. They came in swirls. I purchased the yellow, the purple, the green, the blue swirls, and they were only like $60 Canadian at the time. And I thought they were a very, very good buy. And I noticed that the piston filler mechanism, I think it was a piston filler, unless it wasn't a vacuum. No, I think it was a piston filler. It broke on me. And now I have this little quirk here that I'm not sure what this is all about. I have to look into it, but this is just not normal that this thing goes back and forth. I'm trying to lock it in, and I'm afraid to turn it because it's going to spit out ink, but it does not appear to lock, and I just don't like it because of that. And if anybody knows why, and I'm being unfair to this pen, please send me your comments and let me know. But because of that, I'm gonna have to take out a few there, and I'm gonna give it a 9.4. It's a pity, because the rest, in terms of even the screwing mechanism here, is very, very smooth. The pen is well manufactured, but I just don't like that little quirk it has up there. So, in terms of the nib, I mean, it is smooth, and it has outperformed my expectations. So I think I'm going to have to revisit my comments, and I'm going to give it a very nice 9.7. Very smooth, thick, wet. So, and I read somewhere that the narwhal nibs do have a tendency to be larger than normal or other or standard sizes. So the fines are thicker, the mediums are thicker, the broads are thicker, and this 1.1 stub is thicker as well. But you know what? It's nice and wet, and I have no comments. In terms of value, well, this is a special edition, so it's a numbered and limited edition. So it is a little more on the expensive side, but still, for a primary manipulation pen, I think it's one of the least expensive, so I'm going to give it a 9.9. I think the value's there. Is this pen a go-to pen for me? Absolutely. Yes, I'm going to give it a 10, and it's a thumbs up, 10 on 10. It's a go-to pen for me. So there you have it. That completes my my review of this special edition Nautilus. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do enjoy your day. Do enjoy your pens. And like I say, it's fountain pen therapy for all. Thank you very much, and have a good day.